Successful businesses have always been one of the key reasons for the abundance of the world's richest, most extravagant families. Furthermore, as a significant part of the world's battles with the monetary effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, large numbers of the world's richest families are still as affluent as it could be expected. Did you know that when families with the most extravagant fortunes across the globe together have 1.4 trillion in riches, more than the net value of Apple or the whole GDP of Indonesia, as indicated by a report? This abundance comes from a wide scope of territories, for example, from retail businesses, media combinations, agribusiness organizations, tech monsters, family inheritance, and more. Once you have the money, sky's the limit from there. In today's video, we are taking a look at the top 10 richest families in the world. But before we discuss more about this, if you don't want to miss a video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to get notified every time we post new videos. Let's get started. Number 10, Aldi Family, Reliance Industries, 81.3 billion. To start off the list, we have the man who runs the Indian mechanical aggregate named Reliance Industries. The CEO, Mukesh Ambani, whose late dad established the organization in 1957, is at number 21 on the Forbes Tycoon list, directing the organization's refining, petrochemicals, oil, gas, and material operations, along with his sibling, Anil, who generally oversees the media communications, resource the executives, amusement, etc. Number 9, Johnson Family, Devotion Investments, 46.3 billion. Devotion Investments was established by Edward C. Johnson II in 1946 and is one of the biggest monetary administrations firms on the planet, giving speculation administrations to a huge number of individuals across the globe. The firm is presently run by Johnson's granddaughter, Abigail Johnson, who proudly takes up the 124th position on the Forbes Millionaires list as she boasts of the total asset value of a whopping $10.8 billion. Number 8, Koch Family, Koch Industries, 109.7 billion. Next up we have Charles Koch, who owes his massive fortune and empire to an oil business established by his dad. However, today he is probably better known to the overall population of the world not for his business, but for his active participation in legislative issues, delving into his pockets to put his own mark on the government and politics of today by financing up-and-comers and libertarian think tanks, subsidizing college residencies, and campaigning for strategy positions, all pointed toward advancing a traditionalist plan. Charles collaborated with his sibling David until the latter's unfortunate demise in 2019. Charles owns a total asset value of about $38.2 billion, which has him tied for the 18th spot with Julia Koch and the family on the Forbes list of billionaires of the world. Number 7, Walton Family, Walmart, 215 billion. The Waltons are the most extravagant family in America and by certain actions the richest group on the planet. At the highest point of the Worth chain, in 2020, Jim and Alice Walton are every value $54 billion and positioned at number 8 and number 9 individually on the Forbes yearly round-down of extremely rich people. Literally everyone in the world knows that Walmart is a retail behemoth. Established by Sam Walton in Arkansas in 1962, Walmart is presently the world's biggest organization by 2020 incomes with $524 billion and over 2.2 million US partners. In the event that those individuals comprise their own city, it would be the 4th most crowded American city after New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. The organization works almost 11,510 retail locations worldwide and 5,347 stores in the US as of October 31st, 2020. Most popular for enormous box stores in provincial and rural America, Walmart is praised for its low estimated items and reprimanded for its work rehearses. The organization neglected to bring its enormous box buyer way of life to New York City, not at all like its rival Target. Number 6, Albrecht Family, Aldi, $41 billion. Aldi is a global chain of supermarkets that developed when siblings brothers Theo and Karl Albrecht started to deal with their parents' supermarket after World War II. Aldi likewise possesses the mainstream American chain of supermarkets, Trader Joe's. Theo Albrecht and family have a total asset of $17 billion and rank at number 51 on the Forbes billionaire list. Number 5, Dumas Family, Hermes, $63.9 billion. French designer house and extravagance purveyor Hermes has astonished the world with its marked scarves, ties, and scents, just as its notorious Kelly and Birkin totes. Harking back to the 19th century, Thierry Hermes molded riding attire for the privileged. Today, the organization embellishes b-ball sovereignty LeBron James. Combining outdated and new innovation, a line of Hermes Apple Watches sells for $1,300 to $2,000 and up each. Axel Dumas right now fills as the organization's CEO and administrator, and Pierre Alexis Dumas is the imaginative chief. Number 4, Wertheimer Family, Chanel, $54.4 billion. French high-class design Chanel is unbelievable for the ageless, minimal dark dress, the number 5 fragrance, and the expired prominent originator, Karl Lagerfeld, who kicked the bucket on February 19, 2019. Siblings Alan and Gerhard Wertheimer now co-own the organization that their granddad marked with author Gabrielle Coco Chanel. The siblings are both positioned at number 48 on the Forbes Very Rich Person list with a total asset of $17 billion each. Number 3, Al Saud Saudi Royal Family, $95 billion. The House of Saud, the Saudi illustrious family, has a monarchical history reaching out back almost a century. The family's enormous fortune, assessed at $95 billion, has developed on account of many years of installments from the Royal Diwan, the ruler's chief office. Binds of Saudi Aramco, the world's most beneficial organization and a behemoth of the oil business, guarantee that the Saudi regal family keeps on aggregating abundance. It's hard to precisely evaluate the abundance of the House of Saud, to a limited extent in light of the fact that the family contains upwards of 15,000 broadened individuals, large numbers of whom have established organizations, gotten government agreements, and that's just the beginning. Number 2, Boehringer von Bombach Families, Boehringer Ingelheim, $45.7 billion. Boehringer Ingelheim is a German drugs organization with over 130 years of history. The Boehringer family, alongside von Bombachs, stayed in charge of the organization a few ages later. And before we see the number 1 candidate on this list, we got a few complimentary entries. The Lee family. The Lees are a family behind Samsung, which is presently the world's largest maker of cell phones and comprises 62 organizations per Bloomberg. The hardware monster has helped the Lees gotten perhaps the most extravagant family. The Koch Family. Since being recorded during the 1970s by Koch Tongxiang, Sung Hong Kai Properties has advanced into one of the greatest property engineers in Hong Kong. Thomas and Raymond Kwok control the organization in the wake of expelling their 3rd sibling, Walter Kwok, in 2008 after a fight, Business Insider recently announced. Now the number 1, Mars Family, Mars $120 billion. Mars is the Walmart of treats, a multi-generational privately run company that is pervasive, modest, and famous. Today, the organization is preferably known for making M&Ms, over for its eponymous Mars bars. In 2017, the world's biggest sweets organization expanded with the acquisition of VAC, a pet consideration organization, for $9.1 billion. Ken Jacqueline and John Mars, who granddad Frank Mars established the organization, each have a total asset of $24.7 billion, tied for number 29 in 2020 on the Forbes yearly rundown of extremely rich people. The organization is currently being controlled by a portion of their youngsters, the 4th era of the Mars relatives. This brings us to the end of the video. What did you think? Which of these families have you known before, and how do you think they got inspired to earn enough to enter into the list of the most wealthy families? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video, and press the bell button to get notified every time we drop a new video. Peace.